My sister's cancer came back, and I'm the only match again, so I made a choice anyway. I might not make it to tomorrow morning, and I'm not trying to act tough about it. I'm 19, and when I was 16, I donated bone marrow to my little sister. The doctors tested us and said I was a perfect match. She beat leukemia after that. 3 years of school, friends, and being a kid again happened because of that one surgery. Last week, she called me crying and said the cancer is back. Stage 4. The transplant I gave her 3 years ago failed. Then the doctor tested me again, and I'm still a perfect match. He said we can try one more transplant, but my body is weaker now. Last time I had complications that never healed right. My hip still aches every day, and some nights I wake up and can't move my left leg for a while. They told me it's nerve damage from the first procedure. This time they warned me the risks are higher. Then they sat me down and gave me the odds. 35% chance of severe complications, 15% chance I don't wake up from anesthesia, 8% chance of paralysis if something goes wrong near the nerves in my lower back. The doctor asked me twice if I was sure, right there in his office. I heard it all and said yes anyway. When I told my parents, my mom started shaking and kept saying, "Please don't." My dad didn't yell, but his voice went flat and scared. "Son, you already gave her 3 extra years," he said. "You don't owe anyone your life." Then my mom snapped and said, "And what about your life?" I tried to answer, but it turned into crying and talking over each other, so I just left. My girlfriend found out and tried to make it about us. She said if I did it, she'd leave, and she said I was choosing my sister over our future. I told her I didn't have space in my head for future plans while my sister is dying. Yesterday outside the hospital, she snapped and screamed at me in the parking lot. She called me selfish, like saving my 14-year-old sister is some kind of betrayal. People stared. I didn't yell back. I just said, "If you can't live with this, then we're done," and I walked inside. She was still shouting when the doors closed. After that, I went upstairs to my sister's floor and stood in her doorway. She was watching a dumb game show and trying to smile like everything was normal. She saw me and said, "Hey, are you staying tonight?" My throat tightened, so I lied and said, "I'll be around." Then she asked, really quiet, "Do you think I'll get to go to prom?" I said, "Yeah, of course," and I hated how shaky my voice sounded. I keep thinking about the first time I donated. I was 16, lying on a cold table, staring at bright lights. The anesthesiologist told me to count back from 10. I remember 7, then nothing. When I woke up, my hip was on fire and I couldn't sit up without help. Then a nurse said my sister was improving, and later the doctor said, remission. She went to school dances. She tried out for the school play. She laughed again without looking tired. Now she's 14 and back in the hospital, pretending she's fine so nobody freaks out. She's supposed to go to prom next year. She's supposed to live long enough to complain about normal stuff. My parents can't handle my choice. My mom hasn't spoken to me in 2 days. When I told her I was doing it, she locked herself in her room and cried through the door. My dad just watches me like I might vanish. So I did the only thing I could do to stop the fighting. I told them I backed out, and I let them believe it. I wrote them a note and left it in my apartment. I told the hospital to call them only after I'm already under. Tonight, it's 11 p.m., and I'm sitting alone in a pre-op room at Johns Hopkins with my phone. The room smells like disinfectant, and the lights buzz like a bad headache. A nurse checked my vitals, taped a plastic band on my wrist, and asked if I was nervous. I said no, and she gave me a look like she didn't buy it. I keep thinking about one memory from when my sister was 6. We were at the beach, and she was scared of the waves, so I held her hand and walked her in. She screamed and laughed at the same time and squeezed so hard it hurt. About an hour ago, the doctor came in with the consent forms and went through the risks again. He asked if I wanted to reconsider. I signed without reading because I already know what I'm agreeing to. The surgery is scheduled for 6 a.m. They'll start prepping me at 5:30, plugging in wires and an IV. The surgeon said it takes about 4 hours. By 10 a.m., either I'm in recovery or I'm gone. My sister is 3 floors above me and she doesn't know I'm doing this. She's going to wake up thinking she's out of options. My parents will get the call after it's already started, and they won't be able to stop it. I'm not scared of pain as much as I'm scared of watching her die when I could have tried. I've got about 7 hours left until they come for me, and I'm putting my phone down now. Now they're calling me selfish for signing those forms. Was I wrong?